Growing up, it wasn't easy to play games where I lived. The economy wasn't too kind, and when Nintendo 3DS came out, as a huge Nintendo fan who loved my DS, I had my eye on Super Street Fighter 4 3D as the only real launch game. I really wanted it. Desperately begged my parents to pull the trigger on it for about a year, and I finally got one. My 3DS with Mario Kart 7.
Another one day in the night, let me paint the view, color down with my light. For every moment share with you, not in the day, but never fully gone. Going to be back again until the coming over down.
This guy, Kabanamani456, was one of the Let's Players at the time that I was really enjoying, playing Mario Kart 7, Kid Icarus Uprising, and Star Fox, to just to name a few. But Mario Kart 7 was all I had at the time, for a long time actually, and I remember sitting down to watch his 50cc, 100cc, and 150cc races. He was always so excited and seemed to be really enjoying himself, and that positive vibe rubbed off on me as a child whenever I clicked on one of his videos.
I am redoing my playthrough on Mario Kart 7 in preparation for Mario Kart 8, which is one of the biggest Nintendo Wii U releases this year. I am so excited about posting that playthrough that I thought, you know what, let me go ahead and build up the hype and redo my playthrough on the 150cc. That green shell, just wow! That green, what? Okay, you know this is bullcrap. What the heck is?
I played Mario Kart DS, but never quite vibed with it, and I never tried Mario Kart Wii because I was exclusively playing Super Mario Galaxy 2 and Xenoblade. I was one of those kids. I guess at the time, unless you're a platformer or a JRPG, it was hard for a game to keep the young me's attention, so Mario Kart 7 was already a tough sell with its arcade nature, 150cc difficulty that kind of forced me to reset the entire Grand Prix just to get that 3-star rank. It wasn't initially my cup of tea, it was too repetitive. As a gamer, I consider myself a drifter, even to this day. While it kind of depends on the genre, 100%ing a game or mastering its mechanics was never the point for me. I rarely replay games actually, I'm usually here for the story and vibes. But since I only had one game to play for my 3DS, I kept turning on my Mario Kart 7 for another race. Even after defeat, I was slowly becoming more competitive without realizing, completely immersed in the thrill and the craft of driving to execute that perfect drift, to catch that shortcut that can win me the race. I was falling in love with the mastery process. Despite introducing just as much, if not more gameplay elements as Mario Kart Wii, this handheld entry isn't remembered and cherished nearly as much as it should, at least in my estimations. The kart selection, gliding, underwater racing, Mario Kart 7 walked so that everyone's favorite Mario Kart 8 could run. In fact, I remember playing the cups in Grand Prix over and over again in every difficulty to get the 3-star rank, just like a completionist would, meaning I had to get the first place in each of those 4 races per cup. I got bombed by a blue shell at the last race, only to restart the entire thing. See, that is the beauty of having only one game to play. Simpler times, leading to more concentration behind the wheel, making Mario Kart 7 my favorite racing game with a solid selection of high-quality tracks, especially Rainbow Road. That track is absolutely fantastic. But ironically, I didn't have that experience in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on Switch. While I could see how much more interesting all the tracks were, the music was incredible, the controls, the graphics. It was a clear improvement over MK7. But then, why wasn't I feeling that way? Was it just nostalgia? I don't know, because the game was enjoyable, just not as immersive. I wanted to play other games waiting on my backlog like Mario Odyssey, Xenoblade 2, and Breath of the Wild. The racing experience was objectively better, but Mario Kart 8 Deluxe wasn't hitting the same way that MK7 did. And I think I know why. We really are living in the attention economy. As children, we can be immersed more easily in whatever we do. Presence comes naturally almost. Being an adult sometimes doesn't feel that way. We simply got a lot more on our plates, bunch of thoughts swirling in our minds, leading more complicated lives. So capturing that childhood magic can be tricky. But I don't think it needs to be impossible. We can do something to maximize the Mario Kart World enjoyment at launch on June 5th with our shiny new Nintendo Switch 2. Since nothing seems urgent to us, we are only half involved in what we do. By putting ourselves in situations where we have too much at stake to waste time or resources, or we don't have any options, we can actually ensure concentration and engagement. If you cannot afford to lose, you won't. See, what I'm trying to say is that to maximize your enjoyment of Mario Kart World, cut your ties to other games for a while. To immerse yourself. Don't just think of this as some silly racing game. Don't think about that Expedition 33 boss you're stuck on PC, or Elden Ring Night Rain boss that makes you want to pull your hair out on PS5. By consciously reducing your options, you place yourself on death ground where your back is against the wall, you master the tracks, you have to fight like hell to get out alive. You must depend on your driving skills and practice to win, putting you in a flow state. Which is what I accidentally and naturally tapped into with Mario Kart 7 years ago as a kid, but failed to capture that experience once again with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I know that a lot of you guys are worried about the infamous straight line highways and how boring they look, and how Nintendo didn't show anything new in this latest Direct. But I can assure you that we're getting the most interesting next-gen Mario Kart experience in a very long time. Nintendo has been cooking this game for God knows how long, like 7-8 years? I'm sure they have thought this through, and they will give us possibly the most compelling Mario Kart experience to date. Their games and consoles are expensive, sure, but one thing Nintendo is good at is making really great games.
Another one day.